Omar. Welcome to the cave. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me,
Yeah.
man. Caving it.
Exciting times, our friend. We just had True Lies that premiered about a week ago on CBS. We saw you in your latest role. I had the opportunity to watch the first episode the other night too, man. I love the action, the suspense so far.
Good. Yeah, man. This is we're going for an hour long film, an hour long action film every episode. That's what we're looking for. And if we can do that, some explosions, some jokes, and a lot of good feelings, then we succeed.
Right? How does it feel to be part of a series that was also based off a movie that was such a huge success?
It's there's a bar, there's an expectation that's involved that definitely is something that you have to be cognizant of. And I think that that's why the pilot played the way that it did. And now we kind of jog the audience's memory with the pilot. And then from there, you move forward and say, okay, now what happened after the end of the movie? Now these
Mm,
people have to live with each other with this awkward reality going forward. Now we're hanging out with these people as they have to form their real life and deal with some serious relationship issues. And you come to find how many different people were actually involved in the Tasker marriage
mm,
because you got Gib buying gifts and, keeping Harry up on the kids' school work and progress and this, that, and the other. And you have Helen, who, as you'll see in future episodes, has a couple secrets of her own that she's been
right,
holding.
right.
So,
Was it?
and now everybody's been affected by this truth coming out, you know?
Mm. When you joined the cast, did you feel any pressure about trying to jump into a project like this that's based from a movie now into a series?
No, I mean, I think you have the expectation of what the movie had,
Mm,
but and that feeling that people had watching the film, but you can't let that bog you down and let perfection be the enemy of progress, if you will. So in that we wanted to pay homage to the film and the success of the film and the spirit of the film, and now try to create our own thing from this point forward. So I think that in the rest of the episodes that you're going to see more of the vision of what True Lies, the television series, is about.
mm. Do you expect viewers to go and watch the original film before jumping into this, or would you say just jump right into the series?
I think it's actually better if you just jump right into the series because if you go with the film, then you're looking at the film from a different perspective, from a comparative perspective and a source material perspective, as
Mm,
opposed to it being fresh. I mean, I didn't go rewatch the film before we started filming because I didn't want that to color my performance, if you will.
mm.
So I think that the series can stand alone on its intention, and we'll see if that works or not. And then the audience is going to be the one that determines whether or not it works.
So we see you as Gib. He's very busy right away. As soon as like the series starts, you see him. He's all over the place. He's got to plan everything out pretty much. How was it connecting with this character? How would you describe his journey now through this season?
Well, he's kind of the quarterback of the team, and so he's also the eyes and ears of the audience, as you'll see, and his responsibilities grow as the series goes on. So that you're going to see him being more and more of a team leader and having to make the calls from the van and in the conference room and sometimes marriage counselor, sometimes therapist. And, he's kind of the guy with all the answers until there's an episode where we actually discover and explore what got him to this point and some family dynamics of his own and maybe some girl trouble and having to deal with uh, uh, the grief of having lost a parent and what that does to a family and all that. So one thing that's really cool is as the series goes on, the second half of the season, you're going to see more layers to the Gib
Mm,
character and all of the characters. The series is kind of front loaded with information about Helen and Harry and their marriage. And I think that's all right on because it's, establishing the world and establishing people who are tuning in from the film, establishing what that is and paying respect to that. And then we get to stretch our legs and start exploring some of these other characters and what they're dealing with.
mm. When you read the script and the description of Gib, how did you decide how you wanted to play this character?
Very rarely do I actually listen to the description of characters.
Mm,
I'm in a sense the performers. I'm the kind of performer that I'm going to take the material and then process that material and
mm,
then perform it the way that it landed on me as the most effective way of helping to tell the story overall. Now, it's very difficult to, with three or four characters or three or four words, give a true character description of somebody. Because when you receive scripts, they can give you a description, but the real description of the character is going to be how it plays out in the story throughout the script. And for me, what I do is I use those attributes and those characteristics and color my performance with those elements of what I see in the material and what I can bring. I mean, my job is to elevate the material. That's what I try to do with every role that I take on. And so I'm coming in, reading it and saying, oh, okay, I can make this part better. Oh, okay, this is good. I can really commit to this, you know? And that's the angle. That's how that's where I'm going.
What do you love about this character?
You know, I love that he gets to be a real representative of the title term True Lies.
Okay.
Because so much about Gib is about the mask that people wear in public versus their real lives and their private lives. And this dude is wearing multiple masks. And at later points in the show, in the season, you're going to get to see some of those masks get taken off and get to more of a vulnerable state. And with that, I love the fact that he's smart from a technological space.
Yeah.
And that he's able and capable to adapt and be a chameleon. And so he's kind of the big brother of the group that's constantly trying to make sure that the group is okay while they're executing the mission, giving them all the information, the logistics, the gadgets, the tech, and eventually he actually has to get out of the van and get busy himself. We have a great episode with Tom Arnold where we kind of got a Gib squared, a little meta full circle moment.
That's awesome. How many episodes are we expecting for the first season?
13. So you got 12 more to go. And I really think that they get better. I think that the second half of the season is stronger than the first half. Mm-hmm. And so I think that has to do with the chemistry of, of performing together, because the time when we shot the pilot between the time we started to film the series, there's about a year-long gap.
Wow.
So you're separate. And those bonds that you have with people that you see every day, that you hang out with for 14, 15 hours a day, that builds. And you start to see other performers' strengths and weaknesses, and you play towards the strengths and get away from the weaknesses so that everything becomes better and tighter and better. And next thing you know, hopefully you have a successful show.
You mentioned 13 episodes. What's the one episode you can't wait for everybody to watch? Would it be the Tom Arnold episode?
No, I'm really pumped up for everybody to see the episode where Keith David plays my father. I really, really enjoyed filming that one. It was tough, but it was good, and it was a situation where you get to perform with somebody that you've watched for your whole life. So that's also, that's awesome.
Now, working with the cast, how is it connecting with these members of the cast, and how was it working with them?
They were really easy to get along with, and everybody was really generous in the sense that they wanted the best for the story. And so they sometimes, there's a lot of improv in the show. And sometimes the improv that may come out of one character's mouth came from an improv joke that another character came up with in real life and said, hey, what could be funny here is if you blah, 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 blah. So it was a real, in that sense, there was a real personal collaboration between the cast. And strangely enough, there was not a lot of supervision. We were kind of making the show on our own to a certain degree. So I'm just as interested as you to figure out if the show works, because we're going out. I've seen the pilot just like you, and I haven't seen any other episodes. So we'll see how it all comes together.
If we see a season 2, is there anybody from the cast that you kind of hope you get to work more with future episodes?
No, you'll see this as the series goes on. They do a good job of making people interact and mixing it up. And also, establishing, I think you're going to start seeing more and more performances from guest stars that are notable. Matthew Lillard came and he was great. He really tried something different, which was great because most people were not. he did something with the role that I don't think a lot of performers would have come up with, because it was courageous. It could have worked or it could have not worked. And from what
Yeah.
I saw, it worked. It was awkward and painfully awkward, but in a fun way. And so we have a whole group of guest stars that made things saucy, and that was cool. I think is really 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 cool.
Amazing. So yeah, I mean, so far the reviews have been great for the show, and hopefully people would just keep grinding, keep watching it, and I hope we see another season.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't think a show like this is pining for a bunch of critical success. We're a crowd pleasing kind of show, and
Mm.
as long as the audience is enjoying what they're seeing, then we're winning.
So I was told to ask you, this is not show related, are we ever going to see a Ballers movie or what?
Listen, it could be not. I'm waiting for the phone to ring. But I don't know if you saw it, but the big fella's pretty busy now. He's owning the tequila company, football league, all
Right.
sorts of stuff, energy bars, blah
Energy
blah blah
drink.
blah. Look at that! Look at that! So I don't know if he's got time, but man, the number of people that ask me about ballers on a day-to-day basis, people still come up and ask me about ballers.
Mm.
Still, because there's just no two ways about it.
This is an awesome show.
I love that. Thanks, man. Thanks for watching that one.
So
As a matter of fact, I just saw Donovan from the show last night. I sure did. So yeah, we
awesome.
are a lot of us keep in contact with each other.
That's awesome. Omar, I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes today. This was great, and let's get you back on the show.
My man, hey, thanks for taking the time to watch this show. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Stick with us. I'm interested to see how you like how it progresses.
Amazing.